Good morning. Episode 80. I can hardly believe it. 80 weeks on YouTube. And I always think there's nothing to discuss, and that's never the case. The GOP, two folks, Romney and Cheney, are still thinking the GOP is alive and well and will somehow bend to what they think were the old conservative rules. That's gone, folks. There is no GOP. What is left of the GOP are insurrectionists or folks like Mitch McConnell, who said his entire mission is to block the Democrats. I don't think he'll do a very good job. And if Joe Manchin and Seema wake up to the fact that there is no opposition, there's only the Democratic Party. That's it. Everything is theirs to lose. They can go ahead and understand that the United States economy is just like our bodies. We move effectively when we're in sync with our entire body and mind. That's physiology, and it's the same with the economy. Great. Corporations have said they want to hire workers. They want people to come back to work, and there's a labor shortage. There's no labor shortage, folks. People want a decent job. They also saw people die from COVID. They don't want to get COVID in the workplace. They want better wages. They've needed them for years. There should be a basic minimum wage. If it can't be $15 across the country and everyone will agree to 10 in the Democratic Party, God bless, make it 10, but do something. We need the bill passed for the families. So far, the long-term unemployed, the gig economy people, they haven't been reimbursed for anything. We know we need transportation and we need childcare for people so that they can get to work easily. So there's no shortage of labor. There's a shortage of thinking about labor. We're people. During the pandemic, very few of us were thought of as people when the corporations were quick to lay us off. But now that they'd like us back, I think we need a few carrots, and I think we deserve it. And will inflationary pressures be harmful for the economy? Not at all. I remember Warren Buffett telling us years ago, a little inflation is good. And for those of us who are not in the market, hey, that means that our savings rate will go up if we can afford to have any savings. It also means that whatever supply chain problems we're experiencing now, they're short-term. Just because you flipped a switch and you said, I want folks back to work, it doesn't mean the entire supply chain is going to catch up with you. It can't. They cut back so that they wouldn't have large inventories. So now a couple of commodities are pricier. That's short term. And while corporations are thinking, are they people or aren't they? Well, we already know they're advocating for voting rights across the board. They realize that their constituents may not be other corporations, but people traveling, private people who like democracy and like their voting rights. And when they had folks working during COVID and they didn't give them protections, Maybe those people would like the vaccine and time off, paid time off to get the vaccine, and also paid leave if there are any side effects or symptoms. The vaccine is certainly far preferable than getting COVID or any of the variants. So, as far as I'm concerned, the economy is doing what it should be doing. It should be rehiring people. It should be looking to keeping all of us safe. And those of us who are elderly and may have spending money, trust me, we're not going indoor to restaurants or theaters or concerts unless everyone has that vaccine. We don't want to be exposed to COVID. May become endemic, but we want it so that we're no longer sick and we're no longer being isolated. So as far as I'm concerned, until the people decide they want a third party, that's really the way to go. And at this point in time, the Democrats have nobody to fear but themselves. And they should pass every bill. And they should get rid of the filibuster. Makes no sense, folks, for people like Manchin to be saying he wants to be bipartisan. Bipartisan with who? There is no other party against you. There's only a party that doesn't want you to succeed. So, make the plans, do the legislation, and don't let people suffer too long. That's my advice for everyone. And if you'll note behind me, I have my book, Shining a Light on the Mueller Report. I thought it was very important to read it at the time, all 448 pages, and I made a synopsis. And I'm talking about it now because William Barr is under the spotlight for having lied to all the committees. Surprise, surprise, and nobody stopped him, and nobody stopped the lies about elections in 2016 and the misinformation that was being disseminated with Russia's help. And now we're finding that Russia has been interfering in hacking our systems and perhaps even putting bounties on our military's heads in Afghanistan. My grandson did a tour of duty in Afghanistan. That makes me very upset. So I think the Mueller report, reading my synopsis, which is an easy read, with an article from the Financial Times included in it on Trump's Russian connections, might be a good way for everyone to understand the redacted report and why Mueller advocated obstruction of justice for impeachment. Shameless plug for my own book, but I believed with all my heart and soul that this was a necessary thing to write, and I had to do it. So give it a try. You can buy it on ebook for, I think, $5. The paperback's a little bit more expensive. So God bless you all. Thank you for listening, and see you next week. Bye now, and take care.